All right, hello algebras, 2-3, page 2. We're still factoring by grouping, and of course we always have the rest of our conversations, GCF, number puzzle, everything. We start right away with our GCF. I notice that a 6 comes out of both of these along with 3 x's. What does that leave me with? 3x cubed plus 2. So I took as many x's as I could and my biggest factor. This is our GCF. We want to make sure we always think about that first. Another GCF example here. We want to make sure that we have a leading coefficient that's positive. So let's take that -2 out. And let's go ahead and we'll take out an m. And that's going to give me with 3 m's. That's going to be tricky. 3 m's minus 7m. And this is going to be plus 3. And there's nothing I can do here. This one's going to be prime. Because of this 3, this is not something that we know how to factor. So once we take out this one, and we have a 3-termed cubic, we're good. There's no more to do for that one. All right, let's check out this one. Now we're going to start practicing our factoring by grouping. So, associative property, able to group things any way that I want. So here, we'll take out all we have here is 2 p's that can come out. And that's going to leave me with 2 times p plus 5. Here, we'll take out a 3. And that's going to leave me with 2p plus 5. No surprise, I found a happy face. Natalie says she likes my happy faces. 2p plus 5 times p squared plus 3. This is a squared, so I have to look at, can I break this down anymore? It's not a difference of 2 squares, so I know I'm good. I'm all done. All right. Associative property. And don't forget, I mess with those signs because we want to make sure that we're protecting that negative. He stays on this term only. All right, let's find some common factors. I can see that a 5 and an x come out of here, leaving me with 1x minus 3. I can see a -4 comes out of my second, leaving me with, there it is. So my x minus 3 can be divided out, and my 5x minus 4 is what's left inside this happy face. And when you take it out, put your fingers over it, you can see what's left, your 5x minus 4. All right, we'll continue going, looking for common factors, always looking for a GCF. First, I'm going to take out an a from every single one of these, along with a 3. So if I take a 3 and an a out, that's going to give me 4a cubed minus 3a squared. Can't take a 3 out of that, can I? Not going to happen. So this goes back to being 12. And this goes back to being 9. But I was able to take my a out. So that was pretty cool. So 12, make sure we know that's 12, a to the third, minus 9a squared, plus 4a, darn that 4, minus just plain old 3. All right. Let's get our associative property. Able to group things any way that I want. So we'll go ahead and group these. And this is all inside of this with this A on the outside. So here's this A hanging out, and we're going to do the rest of this work inside here. All right, now we can take a 3 out. 3 and an A come out. In fact, more than one A. I can take 2 of them out. That's going to leave me with 4 and 1A minus this 3. That looks good. That's what I wanted. And notice I already have this 4a minus 3. So guess what I need to think about is this invisible 1. And he needs to hold that place. So when I divide out 4a, I still have them. See how that 1 has to hold that place? All right. So here's this a on the outside. He still counts. And let's go ahead and factor out our happy face. 4a minus 3. And what's left? 3a squared plus 1. All inside of that a. And if I wanted to, I could write it one more time as just 3 factors. My a, my 4a minus 3, and my 3a squared plus 1. And I'm good to go. Let's check out this one. No common factors. Da-da-da-da-da. Associative property. Able to group things any way that I want. I'm going to take out a 5 and an a. That's going to give me 1a left minus 4. And I'm going to take out a negative 2. And that's going to give me a positive a minus 4. So if you're just following along with me, make sure that you know how to get from this step to this step. So think about it first, pause the video. It's too easy to sing along with the radio sometimes, and you're watching me work thinking, oh, that makes sense. But what I want you to do is take a look at this next one and ask yourself, all right, is there a GCF that I can factor out? In this case, guess what there is? So I can divide each of these by a 2. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. 2 comes out, and that leaves me with 4x squared minus 2x's plus 6x's minus 3. All right, let's go ahead and get the associative property. Associative property. Divide things any way I want. Here's my 2 on the outside, and then we got this work to do on the inside. So we'll go ahead and take out a 2 and an x. That's going to leave me with 2x minus 1. Let's go ahead and take out a 3. And that's going to leave you with a 2x minus 1. And there it is. Now remember, these are designed to work out. So go looking for your happy face. Here's my 2 on the outside. We're holding on to him till we get to the end. Here was our happy face, 2x minus 1. And 2x plus 3 is what's left. So you want to know my factors, a 2, a 2x minus 1, and a 2x plus 3. All right. I can take out a negative 2 out of every one of these terms. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with my GCF. Negative 2 comes out, and what I want is a positive leading term, so that's why I do that. That's going to change this to plus x. That's going to change this to minus 10x, and that's going to change that to minus 5. So we'll go ahead and grab our associative property. We'll add that negative there. Able to group things any way that I want. So my negative 2 is along for the ride on the outside of the conversation. My 1x comes out, leaving me with 2x plus 1. And here I'm going to take out a negative 5, and I end up with 2x plus 1. There it is. Here's my common factor. My GCF is not just a variable or a constant. It can be an entire expression. So I have negative 2 as one factor, 2x plus 1, and then x minus 5 as my factors. Okay, now pause. You try this one on your own, see if you can do it. And this one looks like it might be a guess and check, but guess what? Let's do the magic number for this one. We haven't done much magic numbering, so let's go ahead and say 14 times negative 3. We can go ahead and grab a calculator and do that if we need. 14 times 3 is going to give you 42. So your magic number is going to be 42. And what we want to do for this is go ahead and find two numbers that multiply together to be 42, negative, and have a difference of negative 19. So I can go ahead with my calculator and go to my function screen. 42 divided by all the numbers in the whole wide world. Go to my table of values, and I can see my t-table for 42 is going to be 1, 42, 2 and 21, 3 and 14, and then of course 6 and 7, and there's my wraparound. I want to find two numbers that multiply together to give me negative 42 and have a difference of 19. Here they are. So when we look at this, we're going to have 14x squared, and instead of negative 19, we're going to rewrite negative 19 as minus 21x's plus 2x's, and then of course we have the end of our polynomial. Now what I want you to do is you could go back and see that this was a middle term that was split, this was a middle term that was split. We could have combined them. This was a middle term that was split. So these magic number parts were already done for us. Here we had to do it ourselves. I took negative 19 and I rewrote it as negative 21 and positive 2x's. But what I've done is I've given myself four terms that now I can use the associative property to group. Now I can factor by grouping. I'm going to take out a 7 and an x, and that's going to give me with 2x minus 3. And oh, look at this. I don't even need to take anything out. 2x minus 3. But I'm going to use this 1 here as a reminder that when I divide out that happy face, that 1 so let's go ahead and factor out a 2x minus 3, and what am I left with? 7x. I don't know why we skipped this one. Let's go back. Associative property. Right, so we'll take out a 3 and an x, and this is going to leave us with 4x plus 3. We'll take out a negative 3, and that's going to leave us with positive 4x. And that's going to leave us with a positive 3. And then here's my happy face. Here's what's left. Oh, check this out. I missed a greatest common factor at the start. So this 3 can come out, leaving me with x minus 1. And then, of course, I have my 4x plus 3. All right? That's a lot of work. Good job.